Crafty friends, you're in for a treat today if you'd like to make some personalized holiday gifts. We are going to create these little stockings, and they're already created. Actually, the stockings are created. We're going to personalize them with vinyl. We're using what's called heat transfer vinyl. I just got this kit in the mail. It really doesn't matter what you personalize, but you can personalize any fabric that you have. Okay. It's telling me that my sound wasn't on. Could you hear what I just said? Lynn and Kathy, I see you're in here. And Jean. All right, so let me start again because it was telling me my sound was turned off. I hope you heard me. I'm just going to show you how to personalize with vinyl. The best part of this tutorial is that everything I'm showing you can be done right on your machine. And heck, we'll even make the little tags too, just because I could show you what the Paper Pumpkin kit looks like. If you want to get this and you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, or you want to become a subscriber, actually, let's do this first. Then you need to go over to my website and subscribe because you can get 8 of these stockings and a whole kit. These are the stockings. As a subscriber, you can get a refill for only $12. Yippee. So they fold over. And you could turn them inside out, but then they'd be really skinny. And I'm just using them as is. All right, start to finish, guys. That's how I do my tutorials. If you're new to my channel, subscribe because I do all kinds of fun stuff on this channel. Now, what I want to show you before we get started is the last one I created on the screen because you need to know something that we're going to be doing. We are going to be writing the word out with the fonts built into the machine. This is a Brother ScanNCut tips and tricks tutorial, so that means I show you everything from start to finish. V-A-L, that's my sister's name, Valerie, right? We're going to then mirror. You have to mirror this, meaning it's backwards right now. I'm going to go ahead and erase that because I'm done doing hers. But what I'm saying is you need to know that. Because if you don't do that one thing, you're going to waste a lot of heat transfer vinyl. And you don't want to waste your vinyl. You want to save money, right? We're all about saving money, being thrifty. So let's just start at the very beginning of this tutorial. And I meant to go back. Actually, here, just going to go home button, right? We're not going to save anything. All right, so here we are. We are using the Brother ScanNCut right now, SGX 125E. It does not matter which ScanNCut you have because every single ScanNCut that has ever been made that I know of, and I have 4 of them, and I've been around these ScanNCuts for a while, they all have built-in fonts. So you do not need to go run off to the software. Now, if you're interested in running off to the software and using what's called Canvas Workspace, be sure to take my courses. There's about 20 of them, and many of them are on the ScanNCut. And sign up for my newsletter. There'll be coupons for Black Friday for my courses. But this is not about that. This is about using the machine right now to do everything you need to do right on the machine. So when you turn on the machine, you're going to see pattern and scan. Okay, so we're going to go right to the one called pattern. Now you have all these different categories. If you were to make shapes, you'd go to that category. If you were going to use icons that are built in, you'd go to this category. All of these things that I'm showing you can be done with vinyl. Everything can be cut out with vinyl. Borders, right? But let's just go to the letters. And here's some really cool borders and boxes in there. We're going to go to the letters. And I'm going to choose this one here. Now, if I were to use a different kind of font, like that's maybe, there's lots in here. I mean, pretty good selection, right? But if I were to use, say, a script font, meaning where everything's connected, the letters are connected. I'm going to show you an example of that. I can't use what's on the machine. Okay, so understand that because I'm doing this tutorial just on the machine, because it makes it easy to do a tutorial on YouTube, when I do my classes, they take me hundreds of hours to produce because I have to go back and forth between the software and the machine. But right now I'm showing you what to do on the machine. But if you wanted to, I know you're probably thinking, what about like using a different kind of font? Like this is my adhesive kit. I'll show you that better with the better angle later. You would need to then use software because the only thing built into the machine are these fonts here. So we're going to choose the font called FO, okay, letter O, -A003. Now we're going to go ahead and write a word. Now I've already written some, so let's just do one. I'm going to do mom first. So I'm going to write M, and I could do, if I want all capital letters, I could do MOM. But I'm going to go backwards, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use this button here, which is the shift key. And we're going to do more than one of these, so don't worry if you missed this. We're going to do the shift key, and we're going to do a lowercase o and a lowercase m. Okay, we're going to go okay. Now, before you do anything, I'm going to go ahead and You can make the spacing less between letters if you want, like, if you want, or I'm sorry, actually more between letters. But I'm going to leave the spacing as is at the 0. Like the spacing that's there is the default is fine. But you have to remember that before you do any project, you need to like measure the project that you're going to be ironing on. So one way that you can just measure is using the mat. I know my mats are very dirty. That's just the way I roll. We're going to take the stocking and we're just going to say, well, how big is this stocking, right? These are inch marks, and you can use a piece of string or something. 1, 2, 3 inches, right? 4, 5, 6. This, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 12-inch mat. So you're going to stick this here, and you're going to go, oh, it's only 3 inches. Well, here, let's just put it here. Let's put it on the side so you don't get confused. 3 inches across. Now, you're like, that's not quite 3 inches. That's okay, but this part is. Okay, see what I mean? 3 inches across. So you need to know that. So when you design, going back to here, this little guy here, this word, mom, has to be less than 3 inches. So we're going to go into edit, and we're going to go to object edit. And we're going to go to this one called size. That's this first button here. Little arrow going both ways. Well, that's not going to work because it's 3.21 inches. Not only, I don't want to go out to 3 inches, actually, right? If I go down to 3 inches, what that would do is it would go straight out to the edge of the stocking, making it pretty tight. So you always want to have a little buffer. And this was probably like 2.5, right? 2.5 inches or something like that. So a little buffer. Now I'm going to keep it in proportion for now. And I'll just go ahead and make it. I'm going to make it 2.5. We'll have a big buffer. And it's beeping and it's beeping. Oh, it went. I like the audible sounds. You could turn them off on your machine. So now it's 2.5. Now, if I were to say, if I wanted to like turn this button here, right now it's changing the MOM in proportion. The height and the width are changing in proportion to each other. But I don't really ever like letters to be less than 1 inch tall. So the Heidi, when I did the Heidi, there goes my stocking. It flew over there. It was 1 inch tall. So I want to make sure that at least I go to this button here and make this, 1 inch tall. Okay, because otherwise I think the letters are a little small. So it's pretty much in proportion. And if I'm just using a 3-letter word, 2.5 wide is good, 1 inch tall is fine. And I'm going to say okay. Now we're not ready yet because I told you that in order to use the iron-on, now let me show you what this looks like. And if you want to buy some iron-on heat transfer vinyl, please use the link to my Amazon store. If you're in the U.S., I do get a commission at Amazon store when you buy different products. This is called heat transfer vinyl. Now we're not cutting out the front of the vinyl. This is the sheet we're using to iron on. We're cutting out the back of the vinyl, the sticky part. So we need to mirror the word mom. And I'm going to do this again, so don't worry. You're going to use the button here that says mirror. If we were using the software, I'd show you how to do it in the software, but you don't need the software because we're doing this all in the machine. So go ahead and mirror the word mom. And that's all for now. I'm going to go ahead and tape the vinyl to the mat, and then depending on where we put it, that's where we're going to move the word mom. Okay, so let's go ahead and take. So just so you know, I'm using an STX 125. So this has a little diamond at the bottom of the mat, and it only loads in one direction. You can see there's the arrow there. Now we're not putting them, even though it looks like intuitively you'd say, oh, I should put this way. It does look like you should put it that way. And if you were using sticker vinyl, you would put it on this way. But we're not using sticker vinyl. We're using what's called heat transfer vinyl. And I repeat myself a lot on purpose. I am a teacher, and I do that to reinforce concepts. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on this side of the mat because I like to cut on the right side of my mat. Now, heat transfer vinyl curls up a lot because it came off a roll. So just like this tape comes off a roll, it has a natural curl to it. So when you go like that, right, and you go like that to your tape, you see how the tape curls, and it's like the same thing. The vinyl is, look, it's trying to curl up. You need to tape it down. If you don't tape it down, well, let's just say you'll be sorry. And I don't care how sticky your mat is. You could say, my mat's new, it's really sticky. It doesn't really hold this kind of vinyl unless you tape it down. What am I using? I'm using painter's tape. It's just masking tape because painter's tape is pretty strong and it won't get caught up in my machine. And if it does, then please watch my tutorial on how to get tape caught up in your machine, out of your machine. I have lots of maintenance tutorials on how to do that. So I always tell you when you're scanning never to cover these registration marks, and you've probably had my tips and tricks before. But in this case, I'm not scanning. I'm actually cutting. I'm not scanning, so I can cover these marks all I want. But I do have to cut within the line. So I'm going to go ahead and load the mat. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on there, and I'm going to press load. You can't see that part until I've moved the machine closer. I'm going to now come closer so you can see. This is the button I used to load the mat. So now I need to put this mom up in the right corner. Now there's something called, let me see if I have my little stylus, or we'll just use my little spatula. There's something called a weeding box, and we can make a little box around the word mom as well. There we go. We're going to move it up there. If I move it up there too close to the corner, I can't put a little box around it, which helps me when I'm working with vinyl. So what I'm going to do then is go ahead and move it away like so, because I want to teach you this really cool tip and trick about adding a little box around something when you cut it. All right, so that's all you need to know is the size of your stocking that you're going to be putting it on, right? You need to know that you're going to be mirroring it, what kind of vinyl you're going to be using. And now you need to do something called a half cut. A half cut, I have an example of that here. Here's a piece of the vinyl that I made with a different program. Again, you can't use this program, or this machine doesn't have cursive font, but I'm just showing you what a half cut is. A half cut means that I'm going to cut through the vinyl, but not through the transfer sheet. This is a transfer and iron-on sheet. So I need to do what's called a half cut. Okay, so I'm going to go to the cut. First, you're going to just go to cut. And then you're going to, let's see, it already says half cut is on. Well, where do you find that? You're going to go into the little settings there, and you're going to scroll down a little bit, and you're going to see half cut is on. So it's typically off like that, and you're going to turn the half cut on. The only other setting I want you to use when you're working with heat transfer vinyl is I want you to put a little box around everything. It's called a weeding box, and it's really going to help you get the vinyl out very easier than trying to use a giant piece. So weeding box is on, but that part is optional. You must use half cut, but the weeding box is optional. All right, so there we go. We're going to go ahead and start. So if you're not using a STX machine, say you're using a CM model, you can still cut vinyl. That's no problem. You might have to go up to a blade depth of 1.5 for your blade depth. That's fine, right? But you can do that. You just have to set your blade depth, and there's a way to do that. Okay, so watch my tutorials on how to cut vinyl using your CM350 or a different kind of model. All right, so it's just taking a little bit of time, not too long. I'm going to go ahead and say hi to those of you. Come on. Hello, Kathy Schmidt. She's Backyard Stamper. You should follow her on YouTube and follow me while you're at it. Thank you very much. Or subscribe, I should say. Hello, Lynn McFarden. Nice to see you again. I have lots of team members here. Lynn, Jean. Hello, Kathy McWaters. Nice to see you. Jean is one of my trainers on the team. She always does great tutorials for my whole team. Thank you for finishing what we talked about on Zoom last night, Kathy. My team helps each other out. Kathy's part of my Grow Your Crafty business group. So, hello, Gail from Ohio. Nice to see you. So, looks like Lynn won a prize. Good for Lynn. And Lisa from Ontario, Canada. All right. Thank you for the thumbs up, Lynn is saying. All right. Janet, nice to see you. Okay, so what this is a weeding box. I'm going to go ahead and pull this off to show you what this looks like. So a weeding box makes it easier for me to weed out the part that I don't want to iron on. Look how awesome this is. Now, if you had to then, if you had to cut the vinyl and all this business and try to weed it out yourself, I have to cut the vinyl, then you would have a little, issue. So what I want to do next is I'm going to just keep on going because I have this big piece of vinyl here. It's already taped on. And I want to just kind of show you a couple more concepts, right? So we're going to say, okay. And that little weeding box trick is pretty cool, right? So now I want you to notice that a couple things. That the mom is up in the top 2 inches. So the next thing I put there, I'm going to go ahead and leave that there for a moment. We don't want to cut over that again, but we're going to leave it there for reference. And we're going to add to this design. Okay, we're going to go click on add. And we're going to go to pattern, and we're going to go to the letters. So we're adding to our design, and this time I'm going to put my friend's daughter's name. Her name's Cameron, but we call her Cam. Okay, so I'm using this font again, FO-A003, and I'm going to do a capital C, and they live on Guam, my friends, and there's the patron saint of Guam is Our Lady of Cameron, so that she was born on this holy day, and so that's where she got her name, Cameron. So there's her name, C-A-M. We're going to click OK, and we're going to set it onto the mat. So there it is. So we're going to take it, before we delete the mom, we're going to go down here, see, stick it right there, and we're going to go ahead and now that we know that this isn't going to touch that, right, that box there, and I can even move it down a little bit, we can go ahead and click on the word mom, and we're going to go to edit, and we're going to hit the trash button, because we no longer need that, right, because we're done that. We're going to now use, but now we're going to make sure, the way I just did that little trick, we're going to make sure we're not going to cut on top of it. All right, so we're going to, just as a review, we're going to resize this, and then we're going to mirror it. So first is resize. Object edit, click on the resize button, and that's already pretty good, right? Because I told you that the stocking was 3 inches wide, and we want to make sure that you don't want to go all the way out to 3 inches, but we can go ahead and do this one as 2.5 as well, if you want. Or actually, we'll just do it till we get the letters to be an inch high. Let's see how much that is. All right, about 2.5, right? It's perfect because look, 2.5, look at that. The height is 1 inch too when I just go like that. So perfectly proportioned the way I want them. We're going to click OK. We're going to click OK. Oops. What did I forget to do? Say it in the chat what I forgot to do before I was just about to cut it. Hello, Pat Williams. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Hello, Maya Laucock from Melbourne, Australia. Nice to see you. Hello, Charlene again. Another one of my team members, Charlene 529. Hello, Phil Ham. Happy Friday. Hello, Kelly Stoller. Nice to see you again. Cindy Jensen from Iowa. I'm so glad you still have your ScanNCut. All right, cool. Yvette, thank you for being a channel supporter. I'm going to see if anybody gets it right before I'm about to cut this. It's ready to cut. But what did I do? What did I forget to do? Thank you. I forgot to reverse the design. Lisa, Kathy, Amy, perfect. So make sure you don't forget to do that. Kathy, again, we're going to click on the word, and you're going to click on mirror. Now, if I were to just use sticker vinyl, like say I'm putting this on a cup, I would not need to do this, right? If I was just putting it on a cup, or if I was just putting it on my ScanNCut, like the front of my ScanNCut as a personalized sticker. But we're using heat transfer vinyl. We're going to click OK. We're going to click OK. And now we're going to keep on clicking OK. We're going to select cut. Now, you might say, oh, did you forget to use half cut? Well, it's still there from before, the half cut. But when you go into settings, the weeding box does not stay. So this is another tip and trick for you. Just because half cut stays on indefinitely does not mean the weeding box stays on. It turns off every time. You have to keep going back and turning on the weeding box. And I meant to click OK. So there you go. Click OK and start. So now it's doing its thing, and it's going to cut below the word mom. We're going to still show you how to weed out the rest of it. And as you can probably hear, things are falling off my table. Now, in the meantime, we're going to be ironing this on because this is an all-inclusive tutorial. So we're going to take what's called my Cricut mini press. If you want to get one of these, it would be great to get one for yourself for Christmas, right? Go ahead and use my link on my Amazon store as well. I'm going up to setting number 2. I know it's not in focus, but it will be when I start ironing on, because I'm going to move that. So hit the button twice to go up to setting number 2. There's my weeding box. I'm going to go in there. Well, actually, I'm going to go in there with my tweezers, or I can use my finger. And I just want to show you how cool this is. And the reason I always check while it's on here, while I weed out and while I check while it's on my mat, is because if it's not all the way cut, I may have to run the cut through again. But everything looks good to me, and we're all ready to remove the vinyl. Yay look at this. The vinyl is removed, but not there we go, not the other parts. I mean, this is a great little box. It makes it so easy. So I have what's called weeding tools, but in this particular case, there's really hardly anything to weed. Weed means you're getting out the parts you don't want, just like if you're weeding your garden. So I have these little Cricut weeding tools. They don't make this particular set anymore. They come in like a white color, but I'm pretty sure I linked to the Cricut weeding tools on my Amazon store. So a lot of times the things I use are on my Amazon store under tools. The vinyl's under the vinyl category, or it might be called under the sticky category. It might be under sticky category. But I might just use tweezers. Now, what you could do is that tape. I'm not going to use that tape again. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your painter's tape, right? And you're just going to go around and get all the little bits you weeded out. In this case, there's only 2 of them. If you don't get these onto your tape, they will, and trust me, these will end up in your machine because they'll float around on your mat and they'll end up in your machine. So I'm going to pull off all this tape. So we're good to go on that. Now we're going to go ahead and unload the mat. That's that same button I loaded it with. Again, if you were just to use sticker vinyl and you were just kind of personalize your machine or you're doing something else, you would not need to mirror something. But because we're using what's called heat transfer vinyl, you needed to mirror it. So that my thing's already heated up, right? And we're going to go ahead and raise this up. You raise me up so I can climb on mountains. I have to get my ironing board that my mom made for me. Here we go. She made me a cute little ironing board cover. Now, I'm using an ironing board now because I learned my lesson. I tried to just get like sneaky in there and trying to not do what I was supposed to do. And look, I was like, this thing should work. It looks heat resistant. It's one of those foam stamping pads. And like, look at it. It's like totally warped. Then I was like, oh, I'll put my silicone mat on it. And then that like totally discolored. So basically use an ironing board, right? Bottom line, use an ironing board. So we're going to take our little stockings and you need to turn them inside out before you iron onto them because if not, you won't know like where to put the little guy. And, you know, stick around because we'll fully decorate this stocking. We won't just iron on. We're going to put a little tag on it as well. I'll show you how easy this paper pumpkin kit is. It's a really cool paper pumpkin kit, and I'm going to get some refills. Even if not for like now, I'll use them later. All right. See how you have to like do that because this one wasn't folded down as much? And you can even iron, like sometimes when you have like little wrinkles or little things, you can just use your little Cricut mini press to iron on iron fabrics and stuff. Oops. Like that. So I'm going to take this one and kind of like pull it out like that. And I'm going to iron it down like the top. Just so it's sort of like flat, right? Cool. And I like them inside out, but you don't really have to have these inside out, you know? They could be, inside out has the cool little stitching on it, but you could probably turn them the other way. But then they look like really skinny stockings. So now the weeding box, because the weeding box is there, it was just so easy to peel off. And it also saves you like all your extra vinyl. Well, in this case, my vinyl was already cut in small pieces because I do ScanNCut retreats and I send you lots of vinyl. So this is actually leftover vinyl from my ScanNCut retreat. You had red glitter vinyl. The reason the red glitter vinyl didn't match today is because this is Poppy Parade, which is like an orangey color. And this was real, would more match a real red. So that's why I went with the black vinyl. But in the last retreat, you had lots of samples of vinyl. I always include samples of vinyl, samples of cardstock, samples of designer series paper. And in my retreats, we make lots of things. And so the latest course I have on Brother ScanNCut holiday projects, see how it's going to fit there? I'm just cutting out the pieces. Oh, love it. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to talk as I'm ironing on, right? So the first thing I like to do is I like to heat up my little surface. And, oh, by the way, before we do that, you should see where the tags are going to be. So, like, say here's the tag. So the one I made, the first one I made was, like, way too high, which is fine. I mean, it still came out cute. But then I put her name down lower because I didn't want the tag to block my niece's name. Okay, so there's these little tags. So go ahead and put the little, I'm just going to get an empty tag. This is one of the ones we're going to decorate. By the way, first thing I do when I cut tags out of the little perforations is get rid of the nibs. I just do it now. It's a habit. Or you can use a, okay, while I'm here, I'm just going to show you this part because, hey, we're crafters, right? When you get rid of nibs, you don't have to do it by cutting off the nibs. You can use a little buffer, like a little nail file. And it gets rid of all those little nibs, so everything looks like you die cut it instead of like it coming out of a mold. But anywho, let's put that there, even though it's going to kind of be at an angle like that. And that kind of, we know where to put this, right? See? Because if I put that up there like my first try, then it would get covered up by the tag. So we're going to move it down a little. See? So I'm just showing you putting those there as a reference. Anyway, back to this. So personally, I do this. You don't have to do this, but I personally like heat up the surface a little. And the reason I do that is just because it makes this little guy stick better. You know, and then I kind of center it. And then it says 30 seconds, but you know what? That has never worked for me. I'm more like a minute and a half kind of girl. So I will go ahead and look at the timer on I'm going to at least do a minute, and then I'll do a half a minute in another way. I'm just going to look at the timer on the video here and just do it longer than it says. So even though the directions say 30 seconds, that has never, not once, and I've done hundreds of these, it's never worked for me. It was never enough time, and the vinyl never stuck with 30 seconds. And it didn't matter like if it was a hard surface, a soft surface, like just letting you know. Yeah, don't cover mom, Kathy's saying. So, oh, Karen Buttery, who's an amazing crafter, check her out. Karen on the Lake Stamper. She is here saying she didn't know what to do with these little stockings. Well, you know what? I saw them and was like, these have got to have personalization on them. So, I mean, there's little stockings and tags. Oh, and I went to this really cool little Santa store. So I could show you what I'm going to put in these too. If it's like in reach. Hopefully it's in reach. I'll give you an idea of what I'm going to put in these. And if not today, I'll do it like another time on a video because, okay, it went from 25 to 26. Okay, that first minute is done. All right, don't touch it yet. Very important, don't touch it. Okay, we're going to do this one now. I'm going to do it again for a few more seconds, but the first minute is done. Always use circular motions. Heat it up a little bit, put this down, and then do the rest. And then you could just like, if you want to sit this on there like that, then it would be like, it would leave a big mark on your fabric, right? So you want to like do little circular motions. And one rookie mistake, and I used to do this, right? When you're working with heat transfer vinyl, is you think that you can just peel that off. And you can't just peel that off because, right? Because it'll ruin your vinyl. So you want to like wait till it cools down. But don't get rid of that sheet yet because you might need it again for like what I call it, like good measure. We're going to do like a little bit extra for good measure. Which side of the mat? Yes. Did you just get here, Kathy McWaters? This side of the vinyl. You saw how we cut it? Okay, here. Let me get the one I have one that's on my table here. You remember we cut it backwards. This side of the vinyl goes on the mat. Like this side goes down, right? The heat side goes up. Only for heat transfer vinyl. If you were not doing heat transfer vinyl, then it wouldn't matter, right? Okay, this one's ready. So watch this. Now it's dry. It's like cooled off and it's good. Be careful peeling it off because you want to make sure it's good. And now it might seem like, okay, that's perfect. And it is perfect. However, I take this, and this is what I do. I take this loose sheet, I put it back down, and I do my 30 extra seconds for good measure. Because I really don't want this to fall off. And, you know, I do a lot of these, and especially like with the stick material in like my adhesive kit, then I have to like make sure that it's not going to come off. Especially if like you're going to wash it or something, right? Now make sure you're using this little sheet. Don't just do that without the little sheet. You never want to take your iron and put it straight on the heat transfer vinyl. Always use this sheet. All right, so here's the one. Here's to answer the question from Kathy McWaters. Kathy McWaters, when you're all done cutting it, it's going to be backwards and upside down like that. The glitter part is facing the mat. This is the part, the glitter part sticks onto the mat. And then you're cutting it like backwards and upside down. And the iron part, the part that you're going to iron on is up. Okay, it should be cooled down. It only has to cool for, a little bit. Oops. It's good. Yep, I almost thought it. You can tell if it's not all the way done, too, when you start lifting it up and it starts, like, not coming up with, starts sticking onto this part. All right, good. Even though it's all really good and, it's not sticking the other side, we're like, right? We're happy. The other side's fine. That one's done. This one's still not done until I just go over it a little bit again. And there's a little bit of black speck, which is fine. Just like a little speck. Okay, I'm putting that little piece back down and just doing it again for good measure. Again, optional. And then, you can throw away all these extra parts. Right? And I'm just using an ironing board. That's all. But you could use, if you're going to use like these things, they're going to warp and it's not going to be heat resistant. But you could use like a wooden tray. Done that too. It's kind of nice to iron right now because I'm so cold in my she shed. And like this, I'm wearing a jacket. So like this is actually warming me up. So Bonnie Blake, I wanted to thank you for the fabric you sent my mother. She just opened it today, so I would have thanked you sooner, but I'm thanking you here on YouTube. It is amazing. She's going to make you a trimmer case. So for those of you guys that like to sew, stick around because I will show you some things my mom is up to. And, you know, really cool stuff. Trimmer cases, like to hold your Stampin' trimmer. Okay, by the way, if you forget to turn off your heat press, mini heat press, it will just go off by itself after a certain time. So that's pretty cool. It's a safety measure. But go ahead and turn it off. Hold it. You hear that noise? Turn it off. Very important. We always got to do safety first here. Is I'm unplugging it because I have a she shed. And I'm unplugging it because things I get knocked over all the time in my she shed. And I don't want to leave it plugged in and it actually get turned back on. So unplug it and turn it off. It doesn't take that long to heat up. You can do it again later. You can make more later. All right, let me show you how to make these cute tags with the paper pumpkin kit while we're here. And then I'll just show you some other fun stuff I'm up to. And maybe if I brought the gifts in for my niece, I could show you what I'm putting inside. But I don't think the gifts, I don't know if I have them with me, but we'll see. The Santa store was like something, so, you know, at my school, it's like, a Santa store is when you let kids buy things for their parents. But of course, I went in and bought stuff too, like toys for my nieces and nephews. So these are little tags that came in the paper pumpkin kit. And I already showed you how to use the little, you know, you're going to use to get the little nibs off. We're doing that. Okay. And it came with these little, like, paper clips that are amazing because they go through fabric. And the paper pumpkin kit came with, well, it didn't come with these giant ones. It came with these little ones. Like every paper pumpkin kit comes with a stamping block, a stamping spot, I mean. Like a small stamping spot. This is Poppy Prayed. However, I don't open these. I put these in my mystery boxes. I have an awesome mystery box sale going on right now for only $99. Mystery box sale. So check that out on my channel. Like all these things I'm talking about that I have, classes, mystery boxes, my Stampin' Up store where you can buy refills. That's all. It's all in the link in the description. Just click the little doobly doob over there with the 3 dots and you can find that stuff. All right, so here's what we're going for. Just going to show you. I went on the back of the directions. This is the stamp set and I'm finding the directions. Okay, I went on the back and I was like, hey, what's in here? Whoops, I got a little Crafty lunch going on. Flirty Flamingo, Pool Party, Poppy Prayed, Shaded Spruce, and Very Vanilla. So that's what I did is I looked at the kit, I looked at the instructions, and see, they're just kind of plain and they're cute, but the first thing I thought is they need to be personalized. Other than that, I love this kit. I was like, I mean, there's directions in there, but you really, I mean, what I'm showing you, it's easier than even having to look at the directions. So I just grabbed out coordinating colors of Shaded Spruce and Poppy Prayed. I'm going to move my stockings way far away because I'm a messy crafter, and I'm just going to stamp. So I got the stamp out of here, and they're already mounted, so they're over here. I like the one called Filled with Joy, and it's already conditioned. What do I mean by conditioned? It means I just went like this onto some paper, you know, a few times to make sure that it's stamped right. So I went like that. So that's conditioning my stamp. So I'm going to do Filled with Joy, like so. Okay. Hold it for a few seconds. Filled with Joy. Okay. So that's all there is to it. That's Poppy Prayed. I'm moving this way far away from my stockings because look what I did to my ink. Look what happened. Look what happened in my pouches. My ink splatted on my my zipper pouch. But my mom's doing this really cool thing lately. She's making these cases that go on journals, which is another whole story. I don't have one of those. And so we can cut that case apart. But anyway, keep your fabric away from your ink so it doesn't drip all over. Now I'm going to take this one. It's Shaded Spruce, and I'm going to go like that and just get the little stars and just do that and that, right? You're not going to see this part necessarily. It's kind of like peeking out the background. So close these. And now there's these little pieces that came in the paper pumpkin kit. I've only done 2 so far. And we're just going to get some glue. Let's get some little, hopefully my glue is not as frozen as I am. And let's see if it comes out. Oh, good, it comes out. So we'll just pick 2 little ornaments. And I'm just going to do that. Put a little glue on the ornaments. And then we're going to pop the ornaments out. And just glue them to the top. Okay? And I'm just going to use my bumblebee scissors. They were my fabric scissors. I'm just going to get these little nibs off. Let's see there. There's a little nib on that one. And I'm just going to glue it right to the ornament. So pop this out. And we're going to glue that to the ornament. And it's going to ooze. So we're going to, but this glue dries pretty quickly. So see how it's oozing out a little bit? It's all good. We'll tap it off. And then, remember I talked about those little annoying nibs. You're going to cut those off a little bit or use the little buffer to get them off. Oh, how fun. Okay, now these paper pumpkin kits always come with little adhesives and everything you need. So let's find, just trying to find all the little things that came with it, but I don't know where it already, here. Came with this little bag, right? These little adhesives. But I tend to put these in my other little, like, surprise kits and stuff, right? Because some people don't have any adhesives, and I try to give these away. So I just take my bigger, and I just take these, like, and use them instead. So these are like the Stampin' Dimensionals, the bigger ones. So I actually just put one on here like that. And what I did is I angled it like that and put it right over the hole. And I think they want it to sort of dangle, but I thought it would be better if I just attach it like so. And it wouldn't, like, I didn't want this to sort of dangle too because I want to put that, I didn't want them both dangling. It's just my own personal preference. Okay, and then this one I already have the glue on. Notice I let the glue dry for a minute before I put the topper on because it just helps. So we're going to go like that. Okay, and I should have poked this out. So pokey. I could use your, what's called a take your pick tool. So stick a dimensional on there. And again, just do whatever you want with the kits, but I never really follow the directions. I just do my own thing every time I see a kit. And that's the beauty of a paper pumpkin kit. It's yours. You do it with it what you wish. Okay, so that is, I'm going to just put it like at that angle right over the hole. Again, you can let it dangle. If you let it dangle, you're just not going to put a dimensional on the back. And then you're going to use your little pin. Okay, oops. It would help if you take the back of your dimensional off, right? Take the back of the dimensional, because otherwise it's not sticking to anything. All right, like so. So we shall give, my mom likes pink, so we'll do the pink one on my mom's. So we're going to go like that and just put the tag at a little angle and just put it in like so. I have a lot of visitors, so I'll probably just make one for everybody visiting this Thanksgiving. Get everybody a stocking. Voila. Now, doesn't that make a difference having a tag on it as opposed to not having a tag? So the tag dangles, right? But then the little ornament doesn't dangle too, because I just didn't want the little ornament to get worn down. The little gold part didn't seem very strong to me, whereas this little pink part felt like it was stronger. Okay, and we shall do Cam's with the other little paper clip. We'll do hers in the blue. And now we're going to show you them all next to each other, and I'm going to grab something to put into my, if it's over in the other bag. So this little guy does get flipped around, so we'll flip him around. I put a little dimensional on the back because it was when I was showing it for my videos, put the little picture. All right, I know I did another. That was my original test one. It wasn't down as far. We'll find it, but I'll be right back with the toys. Okay, my Santa Shop toys happen to not be like in my she shed, so that's okay. You can't see the toys right now, But I can show you, like we'll put some candy in it, see how much it'll hold. Right, just for fun. All right, and I know I did one for my sister too. So like, what happened to the other stocking already? You guys are probably like, I see it, it's right there. All right, so first of all, we're gonna go with like a gift card, right? So let's try that, right? And we'll see how that fits, okay? And it fits perfectly because I just want to show you like the size of these. So that'll fit in there. That's not actually an active gift card. That's a gift card that like I already used. All right, now we're gonna take up just a bunch of candy and just like see. We'll just see how much fits in there. We're not actually giving her all these things, but because like I said, I have toys. But I just want to show you. So there went a Butterfingers. There went a Twix. Okay, and a Smartie. It's kind of like we're gonna do the Mary Poppins thing. How much will fit in here? Like the never-ending bag she has. And another Butterfingers. So there's like a lot of candy that fits in there. But I think I want to also see if my other little treats that remember we made. I don't know. Remember, I should say remember. I shouldn't assume. But in my channel, I just showed you how to make these stocking stuffers. So we could take some of this kind of candy. This was last weekend's tutorial. These are called the double fold treat pouches. And so we're going to just take some of these guys and see if they fit in there. You know, the little Ghirardelli. Here, we can put the Ginger Chew in there and the Werthers and the Ghirardelli Snowman. All right. So there's a lot. I mean, a lot of stuff, a lot of toys. Okay, so just so you know, a lot will fit in there. I don't even know if the actual treat itself. I don't think the treat itself will fit in there, but let's try the tea. No, the tea, it depends on which stocking because some stockings might have a little bit bigger of an opening. So no for the tea bag, or no, yes for the tea bag. So one stocking, the tea bag fit, and the other stocking, it didn't fit. So yes for the tea bag. And we'll do a Butterfingers. Again, this isn't what I'm actually putting in them, but showing you how much fits in it because people always say, what do you put in them or how much fits in there? It'd be cute to let little things stick out as well. And I have like mini candy canes and stuff that will be good in there. Yay. All right. Looking for something that might have fallen over. Okay. I was right. It fell over. It fell over to the back of like the machine. So this is the end of the tutorial part. I just like to summarize it. And then if you want to stay on, I got a couple things to show you. So you now know how to create personalized vinyl stockings or anything that you want to iron on, any kind of cotton material that you want to iron on with your Brothers ScanNCut. The Brothers ScanNCut also does what's called like sticker vinyl. And in that case, you would use it right side up. In this tutorial, you learned how to find the font on your machine. You learned how to resize the font. You learned how to mirror the font so that when you cut it, you can iron it on. You learned how to actually iron it on using the Cricut Mini Heat Press. You learned some tips and tricks for removing it. Then you also learned how to make a tag using this month's Paper Pumpkin Kit. This month's Paper Pumpkin Kit is called Filled with Joy by Stampin' Up. It's the November Paper Pumpkin Kit. They're in this Paper Pumpkin Kit. You get all the supplies. You get the stamp set. You get the supplies to create your 8 stockings and your 8 tags. You can subscribe to Paper Pumpkin. If you do subscribe, you're going to be getting next month's kit, not this month's kit. But as a subscriber, you can get the refills for this month's kit. All right, so that's what I wanted to tell you about that. Now, I just want to show you something else. Okay, Karen said, I just made these along. You just made them with your ScanNCut along with me? Oh, it makes me so proud. Bonnie Blake said that it's they're so fun right now in Australia. You have an STX 1000. Okay, right. Cool. So it's the iron on vinyl. Go to my Stampin' Up. Go to my Amazon store. Sorry, Amazon store and get the vinyl. I give you all the vinyl that I show in my retreats. All right. So my mom, she made something else that's really cool lately, and I'm just going to show you. It's something like that's new. And I don't know if she's going to be like making these as gifts, whatever, but right now this one's already accounted for. And then the next one, I think my friend Kim is buying. So what these are is, and I need to raise my camera up. Say you have a lot. Whoa, 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 whoa. It just came right off the tripod. Can't raise it up any more than that. All right, hold on. Got to put it back inside. That was funny. Okay, let me just get, I don't know if I can get it to go back inside. Can I get the genie back in the bottle? Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Is I'm just going to take it out of its, okay, there we go. Okay, good. Woo! That, my whole tripod almost fell from it. Okay, what these are is like, say you're a seamstress or you're a quilter and you have a lot of like fabric scraps. So what you do is you put this on the edge of your table. Okay, there's the edge of your table like that. And then this is like she used an embroidery hoop in there for support, and it catches all your fabric scraps. Or you could use it for trash, but you probably wouldn't want to use a fabric bag for trash. You would probably use a plastic one. But this is like a scrap fabric bag. So she who dies with the most fabric wins. So my friend Amy sent me this fabric, and my mom used it to make some of these fabric catchment systems that Amy was telling me about. Now, because you use beans on here to hold it up, right, like this, she made Velcro so you could take this off. Otherwise, you'd have like the beans, like when they get wet, they'd expand, right? That's what beans do. So this is a bean bag to hold your fabric up. So isn't that innovative? She just made it so you can remove it so you can wash this part. Okay, so this one is, my friend Kim is probably getting this for her mother-in-law because her mother-in-law likes to quilt. And these are going to be $32, but my mom can make more. And they're all lined and stuff. And this one's Amy's. Oops. She got this like special coffee fabric, right? And this was the prototype. So it's here. It's not as, yeah, there you go. It's like a little bit different shape. Then my mom started making it like this shape, like the wider shape. Okay, so I just call them like a fabric catchment system. Let me move this ink out of the way. All right, the other thing I wanted you guys to do is like for fun, and I was telling you, I also have like, you know, I sell adhesive kits called Make It Stick, so that's also on my channel. Link in the description where it says like Paper Chef offerings. But what I thought would be fun to also show you, I have something called trimmer cases and I have bags, but I don't all have that already right now. But what I do have is something that also came in the mail. Because I always say, stick around at the end of my videos. Things are fun. And I have not opened this yet. I do not know what it's going to be like. It's called the Nature's Painting Kit. And so we're just going to do a little unboxing of this kit. Stampin' Up! Is really into kits now. And Paper Pumpkin is just one of the ways we do kits. Kits are a great idea because they're all inclusive. Paper Pumpkin, the thing I just showed you, is a surprise each month. I didn't know I was getting little stockings until people started opening their little stockings. Paper Pumpkin, this little thing here, that you get like this in the mail each month, is a subscription and you don't know what you're getting. However, these kind of boxes like this, that are plain, like cardboard, you know what you're getting because we just sell these straight out on our website. So this is available right now as a new kit. So it's called the Nature's Painting Kit. And I thought it looks pretty cool, like adult coloring kind of thing. And so I bought one. I should have used my bumblebee scissors. Don't use your good scissors on plastic and stuff like you want to use. All right, so let's unbox it. Let's see it together. Fun stuff. All right, so this kit comes with, watercolor pencils. Okay, a set of watercolor pencils that you lose like a little bit of water when you color with these, and then it spreads out the ink. So we have Daffodil Delight, Pumpkin Pie, Flirty Flamingo, Red, Berry Burst, Early Espresso, Garden Green, and Coastal Cabana. So a good variety of colors. Okay, let's see what this is. Ooh. All right, we can color like that too with this Nature's Painting Kit. So when you see something that someone else did, that means you can do it too. Because they've done the hard part for you, which is making the lines for you to color in, right? Like making the back of the drawing. Imagine the relaxation you're going to get from doing this kind of coloring. All right, so did you see that there was an aqua painter too, which is pretty cool. This is going to make a great Christmas gift as well. Nature's Painting. I'm going to open up and see what this is all about. Okay, I guess it gives you some little tips. Ooh, it shows you all that's in there. Look at all these pictures that are in there. Oh, you know what I like is it shows you what they're supposed to look like when they're done, so you can kind of see, you know, what to do with those, and how to mix your colors. That's pretty cool. And how to mix, it shows you which colors you're going to use. It shows you the colors from the color palette that I just showed you. Which color pencils you're going to use for each drawing. How fun is that? And the aqua painter. We do sell aqua painters in sets of 3, but this is one aqua painter, which is all you need. This is probably like the medium one. The only thing that confuses me about these is they unscrew the, I want to say the wrong way, but it's probably the right way for them. So instead of going righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, which I've done all my life, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, you can't go righty-tighty. It's like you got to go, well, you can go righty-tighty if you were going that way, but it's like backwards. So I'm going like this. Righty-tighty, instead of going tight, it's coming apart. Isn't that cool? So you put water in there. Just put a little bit of water in there. And you don't have to squeeze much. It says push. Oops. See, I'm already doing it backwards. All right, let's see these. They come in a pad, which is really nice. Let's see if they come on. Oh. Okay, so it's a pad. You should fold this little part like so. But I think they're going to come right out. And I think that's what I would do with them anyway. Okay, watercolor paper. So that's pretty cool. Oh, there's 2 of each. I see a class coming on. I think that we could do a class with this. One of my Stampin' Sips. We could color these. I think I'm going to do this as a Stampin' Sip. Wow. Okay, so there's 2 of each page, which I didn't know was going to come. And let's see how easy they come out. Not too easy, but I mean, there's a little perforation there, but they're not pulling right out. It's pretty strong, like if you want to. But I probably wouldn't keep them in a book when I'm coloring them. I would need to like take them and sort of spread them out. So I'd want to probably pop these out of the book. So beautiful artwork on this Nature's Painting Kit. Love the frames. All right, so I'm glad I got this. So Kathy McGowan says the Brother embroidery machine. So you probably are used to working with a lot of fabric. All right. I'm glad you guys are sharing which models of ScanNCut you're using, and I am reading your comments. And I appreciate all the channel supporters. They have a special icon next to their name. It helps immensely when you support the channel by being a monthly subscriber and a monthly recurring member. You get extra perks too. Yeah, Bonnie's saying you can buy vinyl anywhere. You can absolutely buy vinyl anywhere. But I was just saying, if you use my Stampin' Up, if you use my Amazon link, then I get a small commission. It might just be a few cents. It might be, 20 cents, 30 cents here and there. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't cost any more for you to use my link. So while you can buy vinyl anywhere, you can buy anything anywhere. But it's good to support small businesses, right? And I know you might be like, Amazon's not a small business, but do you know the people who sell on Amazon? We are small businesses. A lot of people who sell on Amazon are small businesses. This is a really cool fall page. I think I'm going to make this the first one I color. Let me see how I can get this out. If I can get this out easy, that'd be cool because I want to... Oh, it does come out easy. Look at that. I'm going to color that. That's my first page I'm going to color because it's fall and I need to color it. And I can make a card out of it. So after you're done coloring it, you can cut it apart and make some... There's more pictures than I expected, honestly. More paper than I expected. Poinsettias. Because I didn't expect so many pages and all this like watercolor paper. So this is a really cool gift, and I just really like this Nature's Painting. They even gave us extra pages. 1, 2. So I think this would be great for like, if those of you who are demonstrators and crafters, like those of you who are demonstrators, like this would make a really good class on watercoloring techniques, and it would make a really fun social event where everybody gets together and just does some like painting and coloring for like an event, even on Zoom, and people color and you can watch each other color. And yeah, just like that. So it's cool. It's a really cool thing. So I'm glad I got to open that in front of you. And you might be saying, what about this unboxing? Well, that really all there was to it, except for the stamp set, which is somewhere on my table. This was the heart of this kit is your 8 stockings, and I showed you like the tags and the little and the stamps, but they came off of a little page of a little plastic page. So that's what this kit entails. But sometimes you get like some of our paper pumpkin kits have like 8 cards. So all of our kits are different. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the tutorial on how to personalize your stockings, and that you'll check it out and try it yourself. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. And then if you want to get coupons for my upcoming classes, I have 20 classes on, I think it's 20, it might be 19, on a platform called Udemy. And the latest class called Holiday Projects, I teach you how to make your own boxes with the ScanNCut. I teach you how to do these heat transfer vinyl, but using the software so you can find your own font. I show you how to make poinsettias with the built-in, like the built-in projects right from the Brothers ScanNCut. So like if you want to get a coupon for that course, so you can get it for $9.99 only, and I'm going to be doing Black Friday coupons in my next newsletter. Well, sometime this coming week, so they'll be good until Black Friday. So yeah, so check out that, go ahead and sign up for my newsletter. It's the first link below. All right, I'm glad you did the course, Kathy. I mean Karen, not Kathy. All right, Bonnie, I'll be in touch about your box. All right, talk to you later. This is the Paper Chef. We did it in under an hour, singing and all. Thank you for watching. Have a great evening.